Hello, welcome to episode 29 of Smooth Traffic. This is a re-recording of the Dead episode. The episode that will never be heard by anyone. Because I broke my microphone with a game show soundboard. Drama. Anyway, in this episode we're going to talk about my incredible experience driving the only Porsche 959 Cabriolet in the world. We've got my review of the long-term Renault Kadjar that I've been driving, which is an okay car. It's okay. We're going to have...
You've spoilt it now. Where's the incentive for anyone to listen on?
Well, I don't know. I just thought they were here for... Well, for me, actually. No?
No.
Oh. Ben, have you got a surprise for us in this episode?
I have indeed.
Right.
Ooh.
Well, I don't have to do any more of the intro then, do I?
Well, I've got a challenge for you as well.
Oh, you've got a challenge for us?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the intro!
And Deadliest Boot Spaces.
Oh, and Deadliest Boot Spaces, yeah, but my voice might be funny in that because of the microphone thing. Yep. So, just be careful with that one. So, yeah, I've had a rather tasty week, haven't I? I've gone off to drive the most expensive car I've ever driven. And it's a 1987 Porsche 959 Cabriolet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's the only Porsche 959 Cabriolet in the world. And its value is estimated to be £1.5 million. So you can imagine how tight my butt cheeks were clenched together as I pulled out into busy London traffic.
I'm surprised they even let you in the same room as that car, let alone actually drive it.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
I was as well, to be honest. It was it was amazing though. It was a really, really great day. I made a film with Studio 20A for Influx magazine, so there'll be a film out soon. Probably sometime after this episode's been released, I imagine. I think it'll be sometime next week, sort of start of April kind of time when the film is out. So I hope you're all going to enjoy that. I'll of course tweet the film when it does come out, and if you don't see my tweet, head over to influx.co.uk and I'm sure you'll find it on one of the pages there, maybe even the front page. Who knows? Me? Front page news? Never. Well, we'll see, won't we? Driving a 959 is interesting. I can't compare it to a normal 959 because I've never driven a normal 959, and a 959 Cabriolet being the only one in the world, there's nothing really else I can compare it to, but it was the real deal. This is a car that's got a lot of important and impressive technology for the late 1980s. It had the world's first tyre pressure monitoring system. It had a 2.85 litre flat six taken from the 935 Moby Dick racing car, not the Whale.
Not the Whale.
Not the Whale, the racing car, which was very successful.
You never see Captain Ahab chasing those racing cars, do you?
No, it's not for him.
No.
It's not for him.
Fair enough.
And the 959 won the Paris-Dakar Rally. It won a class victory in Le Mans. And yeah, all of that technology you can't see. It's just around you. So when you actually drive it, you sort of get this huge sense of mechanical quality from underneath and around you. The clutch is really rock hard. Really takes a strong leg to work it. The steering is just full of feel and vibration. The engine, as you would expect, being 450 odd brake horsepower, propels the car at quite some speed. And the 959 had one of the most advanced all-wheel drive systems ever made. So much so that they had to simplify future all-wheel drive systems for the 911 models that were brought out afterwards. So you can imagine, 450 horsepower and all-wheel drive, it shot down the road quite quickly, really. And I didn't really push it that much because we were in central London, so I couldn't really exploit the car's speed much. But from the driving I did get to do, it was a car that I felt quite comfortable in and be more than happy to take it down some particularly fast roads that I like the look of. But I haven't got 1.5 million quid, so I can't do that. And I probably never will. So if the new owner, when they get it, if they want to let me borrow it to go down some really, really fast roads, and they're happy to put me on their insurance policy, because I'm not paying for it, that would be great. If not, I might be the only person who's ever had a chance to actually do a film review and words review on a 959 Cabriolet. If the new owner buys it and puts it in a shed, no one else is going to get that chance. So that's particularly cool. So a big thank you to Kois of Kensington, the auction house, who are auctioning it off in Essen in Germany next month on the 8th of April, I believe. Yeah, if you go in there, take a massive wallet, because if you want to bid for that car, yeah, you're going to need a really big wallet. More like a suitcase, actually. Big suitcase.
Massive suitcase.
Massive suitcase.
Nice. I mean, when I was a very young boy, if you can imagine a time like that,
Victorian times.
if you like, the 959 was one of the first cars that really caught my eye as a young lad, and I'm just incredibly jealous of you, in all honesty, John. But at the same time, I'm surprisingly proud of you as well,
Oh,
because I think this is a pretty big deal.
yeah.
And well done.
Thank you. It is a huge deal. It's not every day you get invited to drive a car that's that rare, and especially if you're someone like me who's got a habit of walking into door frames, walking into lampposts, falling out of his own shoes, things like that. So
The clumsiest man in
the
Britain.
clumsiest man in Britain. So yeah, to be able to drive something that valuable and that rare was very, very special indeed.
I presume you didn't lead with that when you were asking to borrow the car. Man who's tripped over my own shoes.
No, I didn't lead with that because well, they wouldn't have. Well, they would have just ignored me basically. But now they
As we
know.
all do.
I survived. I didn't crash it. I parked a good 3 feet away from every curb that I parked it next to. I had to do some 3-point turns in the road at one point, and that was a bit hairy.
How many points did you end up making your turns in?
3 or 4.
Oh, okay.
The road was quite wide.
Right.
It wasn't anything to do with my skill particularly. It was just a wide part of the road I wanted to use.
Was it down on the Mall or something?
It was by the Thames,
Right.
near Richmond, not far from the Twickenham rugby stadium and Harlequins. I think they're around the corner there as well. Seems to be a rugby nest full of big burly blokes squawking for food and a occasional ginger bloke in a 959. But yeah, I think the film's going to be really good, so I hope you'll all enjoy that, and if you do, share it round, tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your pets.
I do have one question for you, John.
Go on then.
Obviously, when we did the summer road trip in the Caterham last year,
Yeah.
that attracted a lot of attention.
Yep.
And it gave us an opportunity to share a very special car with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Was it similar with the 959, in so much that being in London, people probably see supercars on a fairly regular basis, and the fact you were with a film crew probably meant people weren't quite as keen to approach you, I would guess?
Yeah, people didn't really approach me because obviously the guys from the film crew were there, and we had a couple of other guys as well. We had Gwith from Coys and Natu, I think his name was as well, who works at Coys. But they came with us anyway, just to make sure everything was going all right and to take a few extra pictures, that kind of thing. Pictures of the film crew at work, which you might see I've tweeted or something like that. The attention, no, people didn't really approach. They like to slow down and sort of look at what was going on. But the 959 kind of doesn't really look like a car that is that special anyway. It's not staggeringly beautiful or anything. It just looks like a very low, very plastic 911.
You certainly wouldn't look at it and think it's £1.5 million worth of car.
No,
would you?
no, you wouldn't.
Rarity.
You wouldn't really. I opened the front trunk, the frunk,
The boot,
the boot at the front,
the front boot.
front boot, the fruit.
Yeah.
And it was the panel for that was unbelievably light. I mean, the whole car is made of composites, materials like Kevlar, that kind of thing, you know, and there's some aluminium in there as well. But it was ridiculously light, this panel on the front, and it does just look plastic. So, you know, if you saw it, you probably wouldn't guess it was £1.5 million worth of car. But the rarity of it and its significance for all other supercars and hypercars that have come afterwards means it is a car that is worth that much. And blimey, what a car! It's a car that, for me, in this cabriolet form, it would be quite happy to thrash around busy roads and do ridiculous speeds on the autobahn and stuff, but it also would be quite happy cruising around a certain principality in the south of France as well. It would do both, and it would do both very well. And if you were lucky enough to drive that around Monaco, you could drive around thinking, well, nobody else has got one of these. So, I mean, that surely adds to the price as well if you're one of the super rich collectors or buyers or just fans of cars that, you know, can buy this kind of thing. So it's rare. Well, it's unique, actually. The engineering is incredible, and you sense that when you drive it, that quality of engineering and the solidness of the whole car. You get a real feel for that when you're driving it. Powerful, significant in terms of historical impact for all the modern supercars that we've driven. Significant in terms of all-wheel drive development. And a very, very special car. So thank you, Coys. And yeah, just want to let everyone know out there, it'll be a good article, I hope, and a good video, and yeah, let me know what you think of it. Basically, it's going to be a bit different to the smooth traffic videos. Anyway, we can say that.
Not as good.
Not as
More
good.
expensive.
Much more expensive, but not as good. Yeah.
Higher production value.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a few, like... the weirdest thing I found when filming was when the crew told me to act normally, like stand around the car and just act normally and just walk around and look at it and kind of just be casual next to the car so you can get some film shots and stuff. I don't know how they're going to edit it together yet. But I found acting normally, when I had to act normally, quite difficult. And that's never really something I've had to do before.
Did they know what you are like when you act normally, though? Because if they did, I don't know if they'd have asked you to act normally.
Well, I did start pulling faces at the camera. No, it was. I made faces at the camera and stuff, but that wasn't really acting normally. Apparently, I had to just act kind of aloof, and it was kind of one of these candid shots things. It'll probably be in the film, and you can all take the piss out of me about it.
Act like you're in a scripted reality show.
Yeah.
Got the doorbell rings and they go, "Oh, hello," and they're there waiting.
Yeah, the cameraman's already in
What a surprise!
Yeah.
He's already in the house.
He's already in the house.
As
yeah.
Dion Dublin comes to the door on Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah, it was that sort of thing. Yeah, acting isn't really my... Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. We'll see, won't we? I've never had to do it before, so yeah, we'll see on the video what it's like. But yeah, if you like it, please do share it and tell everyone. Tell your mum and your pets and everything. That would be great, because I think the more people who get to see a car as special as that, the better it will go. And who knows, if you all like it, maybe we can make more films at Influx. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? But yeah, if you like it, let us know, because it increases the chance of us driving more classic and rare cars, I suspect. So I think the community's involvement on this one is going to play a big part. Same thing with Smooth Traffic. If you can... What do I have to do again? Review us.
Rate and review.
Rate and review us. That. I don't understand how it works, but Kingy and Benny do, and they keep telling me it's important. So, again, if you like us, give us a rate and a review.
On iTunes.
And, yeah, that will help. I don't know what it helps with, but it will. So, please do it. I'll buy you a biscuit.
Steady. And obviously,
Cheap biscuit.
if you do enjoy John's video with the 959, you'll be lucky enough to see him in Hamlet with the Royal Shakespeare Company in 6 to 8 months.
I know what you're laughing at, Ben. It's true.
So, for the last month, 2 months, Jonny has been driving around in the Renault Kadjar long-termer from Diesel Car Magazine?
Yeah, Diesel Car Magazine. The Renault Kadjar. I've got the 1.6 Dynamique Nav, I believe. I've had it since last year, actually. Can you believe that?
Has it really been that long?
Yeah, it's been that long.
It's so dull that I didn't even realise you've had it that long.
No, me neither.
Do Renault know you still have it?
I don't know.
Nobody cares.
I genuinely don't know. If not, I'll just keep it.
Nobody wants it back, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. It's not that good, is it really? I mean, the good news about my microphone breaking is that obviously we talked about this on the Dead episode, and now, since between the Dead episode and the re-recording of this episode, I've been able to show you both the Renault Badger in full glory.
Yes.
And you've both been able to experience it and form your own opinions on it now as well. So, and they pretty much match mine.
Yes.
I think, don't they?
We're in agreement for a change.
Which is, it's okay for what it does. The engine's okay. The gearbox isn't. The gearbox isn't very good at all. It's kind of slow and sloppy and sometimes has a mind of its own. The interior layout is a bit strange.
Abysmal,
Yeah,
I was going to say.
It's bizarre. The cruise control and the speed limiter control is in the centre console near the gear lever and also near the cup holder and the coin holder.
Yes, the coin holder.
The coin holder, yeah.
Because it's still the 1980s.
Yeah, which is a strange one.
I honestly don't know why anyone puts a coin holder in. I think we've got a couple of coin slots in the glove box. And it's like, who's that for?
Yeah.
Who's got like £3 coins that they don't know where to put?
Well,
I just don't understand.
I suppose the idea is... Well, you would put them in your pocket, yeah. But I suppose the idea is that then, you've always got parking money in the car. But, I mean, parking meters these days, you can pay by phone.
Yeah.
You know, you just phone up, give your details over the phone, registration plate, and then it puts the time on it.
Yeah.
Quite often they just put an invoice on your windscreen, don't they? That's helpful.
Exactly. They will invoice you later if you don't pay for parking at the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, I'm old-fashioned. I still put coins in a machine to get a ticket, but I don't keep coins in the car. They sit in my wallet.
With your map.
No, I don't keep a map in my wallet. That's just stupid.
I bet you do. A little one.
No, why would I? Why would I keep a map in my wallet? There's a perfectly good map in the door pocket of the car.
Why would you have a map at all?
My dad has one of those plastic tubes with the cap to put coins in.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a plastic tube map in his wallet.
No.
Okay, carry on.
That would be mad. Do any of your parents have that? Like a little plastic tube with a cap that you keep coins in?
No.
And then when you want to buy something with coins, they sort of like pour it out onto their hand in like a line, so they can see what coins they've got.
I'm familiar with what you're referring to, but no.
I've only ever seen my dad use one of them. I've never seen anyone else use one.
I can't remember where I've seen one before, but no.
Probably my dad.
Perhaps.
Paying for something, like parking.
And
Or
this
a
is
McFlurry.
why, maybe this is why you need a coin slot in the car.
To stop you turning into your dad.
Yes.
Okay, maybe that's the solution then. One thing I do like about the Renault Badger, fuel economy. As you know, this week I travelled all the way up from Devon to Kensington, and then back across to Bath to hang out with Bobby King.
Hello.
And it managed to do 65 miles per gallon.
Which is very good.
Which is very good, yeah, because it's not a small car, and it did 65, and I wasn't really driving super eco or anything like that, so I was really impressed with that. And it is comfortable, but I think there's a little bit of lack of lumbar support, which perhaps is optional on a Badger, but I'm not really sure. But I think, yeah, the lumbar support should be better, so it can kind of become uncomfortable if you drive for a long time, but for the most part it's comfortable all the time. It just doesn't deal with like potholes very well and cracks. It tends to sort of be a little bit bouncy, but I suppose it is set up to be soft, so that's kind of the trade-off, I suppose. But
It's French though, isn't it?
It's French, so it's not going to be perfect. There's not enough room for my knees, probably because it's right-hand drive, and they haven't been able to work out how to put the steering column in the right-hand side without it intruding into knee space.
People in France are all short. Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? Who knows? But it's full of funny little things like that. The cruise control functions being split between the steering wheel and those buttons near the cup holders. The cup holders are far too shallow. Was it we were driving the other day in the Kadjar?
Yes.
And something fell out of the cup holder?
Yes.
Because the cup holder's about an inch deep and that's it. And obviously most bottles are several inches tall. Or coffee cups are several inches tall. So, again, that's...
And quite slim.
That's strange.
You had a bottle of Coke in there or something when
Yeah.
you saw me, and that they fell out as well, because they're not... could only just cope with one of those. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's right where your arm goes as well, if you want to use the armrest. So it's full of just strange decisions, really.
Yeah, why was the sat-nav button behind the little the handbrake button? It's like, that's the worst place for it. If you're fumbling around trying to turn the cruise control on,
Yeah.
you might put the handbrake on accidentally. It just seems daft.
It's full of just strange decisions, and like the volume control and the mute button is on a separate kind of chunky column underneath the windscreen wipers. So I don't know. I don't really know what Renault's interior design department were thinking with that. I'd love to see a French Kadjar. Next time I'm in Paris, I might try and go and check out a French Kadjar, because I bet it's a bit different to the ones we've got, and it's probably because, you know, they don't build things for our market. You know, why should they, really?
Maybe their whole design team were just looking at putting in some subtle nuances that would help the British public to further appreciate their continental flavourings within the vehicle. Or some pretentious bollocks like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that could be a game show in that, King.
Some pretentious bollocks.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't done a game show on this podcast so far, so maybe I can try and come up with something.
You could hack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
okay.
it. Do it.
Maybe I'll do that. Sticking with the Kadjar, though.
Okay.
As you mentioned, we'd already recorded a bit of stuff about this
Yeah, the dead
before
episode.
when your microphone was on the way out. So, let's talk about the brakes again. The issue you had with the brakes.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Well, when I had my concussion, I was laid up for a few weeks. Not laid up for a few weeks. I was okay. There wasn't anything drastically wrong with me. I just wasn't really allowed to drive much. The Kadjar was parked for about a week without being driven. And the left front brake seized up completely, to the point where actually driving off with it would still be grinding for a while. I had to drive for about 20 or 30 miles before the grinding stopped from the front left wheel. The other wheels were fine, but during that time, braking capacity was definitely reduced. I had to brake a lot earlier, and there was this horrible noise. So it's that didn't impress me because I've left my BMW standing still for quite some time and it's been okay.
But this is a brand new car.
And this is a brand new car as well. So, but it is due a service now. I've got to ring Renault's PR department and book the service in, probably with my local Renault dealer in Barnstable, I suspect. Prideaux, yeah, probably get it down there. It's up to the PR department, of course, but I reckon it'll go down there and get looked at, and I'm interested to see whether it comes back feeling any sharper or better. Oh, another thing I do like about the Kadjar, steering. It has really, really good steering for an SUV. It doesn't handle well, but the steering is actually very good. It's a really nice weight, and you do get more feel than most SUVs through that steering, I would say. So good steering, good engine, plenty of space in the boot, practical boot, little bits you can fold up, and sort of there's a floor that can be raised or lowered, and there's little places either side of the storage bay in the boot where you can put like cylindrical items, like maybe a Stein with a litre can in it.
Yep.
Which may or may have not been used for a certain F1 special, but who knows. So things like that are really easy to place in the boot, which isn't always possible. And yeah, it's got its good points, but it's got a lot of bad points as well. So it's just an average car, I would say. And that's about as nice as I can be about it, really. I just don't particularly like it much.
It's not pleasant to be... Well, it's not unpleasant to be in.
No.
But I didn't feel any warmth towards it in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
Sat in the passenger seat. Just nothing about it said, buy me.
Buy me.
I mean, the way I looked at it was, as I've often looked at most SUVs and that ilk of car over the past 12, 18 months now, is basically, would an elderly person be able to comfortably get in and out of it? And I say no. Because although the vehicle is a decent height and you think that's fine, the actual step up to get into it is still quite a large step. And I just think that's not useful. So they're cutting out a large chunk of the market there. I'm not saying that the elderly are looking to buy Renault Kadjars and that Renault are aiming them at them. But I think people who are looking for something that gives ease of access to an elderly relative, that's going to put them off. Because I think getting up into that car was too high for someone who perhaps isn't as steady on their legs as they used to be. So, another fail in my book.
It's attractive enough in terms of its design.
Well, it's French, isn't it?
So it's fairly attractive. Yeah, as for too high, I haven't really thought too much about that, but you know,
I'm basing it purely on personal experience.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
You know, for me, it wouldn't have done the job.
No. I was trying to think back to when I had like a back injury and whether I would be comfortable not getting in it, but I can't really remember now, to be honest.
That's because of the concussion.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's good looking, kind of stylish, good engine, good storage space, comfortable to a point. It's difficult to sum up, but I'm not enamoured with it. And I think the quality in the front isn't the same as the quality in the rear either. I think that was something Emma noticed the other day, Ben.
Yes.
I think she commented on the plastics and the quality in the back not quite being what the front is, which is interesting as well. So they spent more money on the front.
How much does it cost, did we say?
I actually don't know how much it costs. I think it's around 20 grand. But there's quite a lot of models in the range, and actually I haven't ever been sent a spec sheet for it by Renault. So I'm not too sure, but I reckon it'd be about 20 grand. 20 to 25.
This just makes me think more and more that Renault don't know that you still have this car.
Possibly.
You've never had a spec sheet.
I told them I've got it when I first got it. Like, it was just a courtesy email to say, "Oh, I've got the Kadjar now." I don't think they replied, so maybe it went in their spam folder or something. But you know, it's all right.
That's where I send all your emails when they come to me. Right then, chaps, I've got a challenge for you two. And for me as well, because, well, we're a three-man podcast. It'd be boring if we didn't all get involved. Earlier today, John and I were sat in Bath outside a local drinking hole and watching a lot of traffic going by. And we were playing a little game of guessing what the next 70,000 plus car to drive past would be.
Yeah, it's quite hard.
It's a very hard game. I won 1-0, despite us having probably about 16 or 17 attempts.
Yeah.
So, thank goodness for the multitude of Jaguar F-Types that there are in Bath. But, coming on from that, there were a lot of... Well, I say a lot. There were a few terrible cars that people had modified themselves. But, what that got me thinking was, what's the most expensive car that you can spec up that has a base list price of under £25,000? Okay, so...
Okay.
between now and the next episode, we're all going to go away. We're going to have a look, and I want each of us to come back with a car that they think base price can be no more than £25,000. But how much can you spec that up to?
I already know which car I'm going to choose, and I already know I'm going to win.
Classic John. Positivity.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy. Ben, you're going to lose. And you, King.
Well, it's my game.
Easy, mate. We'll both pick the same ones.
Yeah, exactly. We'll all pick the same one, then. Volkswagen up. Done. Right. So there we go. Stay tuned.
I'd love to see a 70 grand up.
The Up GTI with some kind of supercharger on it.
Pretty sure I can get one of them for under 70 grand.
You'll be surprised. So there we go. Obviously, if you're listening, do stay tuned to the next episode of Smooth Traffic, where we'll hopefully have some kind of car standoff.
Yeah,
with
come
this
back
little
for
game.
my victory parade.
And obviously, if you want to get involved on Twitter as well, do please tweet us at Smooth Traffic and tell us your suggestions. Just tell us what car it is, how much you've managed to spec it up to, and then
So we've got to
we'll
buy
see
a
if we
car
can
for
beat it.
under £25,000 and option it up to the maximum price we possibly can.
Yes,
Cool.
manufacturer options only.
Cool.
Okay,
Yep,
Good.
I've won.
just so we're agreed.
Yep.
Excellent.
Unlucky Ben. Unlucky King. See you next week, yeah?
Well, due to Johnny's technical problems, we've kind of missed the boat on Geneva this year. But since everyone else is covering it, we don't really see much of a point of doing anything.
No. It looked good, though.
It did look good, and there were many shiny objects.
Yeah. Most of the guys I know who went there said it was one of the best shows in years.
Typical.
Guys, I
Yeah.
didn't want you to miss out, so I've prepared you a little surprise.
Ooh. Good old Ben.
As
I got a new hat.
Johnny loves a game show,
I do. Only if I'm presenting it, though.
I've got a new game for you chaps. Assuming you reckon you know enough about cars, Johnny, you claim to be the master.
Oh, Christ.
So, as a new challenge, I bring to you press release bullshit bingo.
Ping!
So I'm going to read out a couple of snippets of press releases,
Okay.
and you've got to try and guess the car that relates to.
I'm going to nail this.
Okay. What are the prizes, Ben? Because John wants a new hat.
I need a new hat, Ben. Have you got one?
If you win, Johnny, Rob will buy you a new hat, and if you win, Kingy, then we'll probably assume you cheated.
Yeah, he did.
How does that
But
work?
John's actually here with me, so he can view that I don't cheat.
He's
So
cheating already.
Maybe just some donuts or something?
No, he's cheating.
How am I cheating?
You're just cheating, King. I can tell. You got that look in your eyes. Cheating glance.
So the plan is, guys, if you guess it from the first clue, you get 5 points, and then by the fifth clue, you get 1.
All right then, love.
Okay, I'm sure I've heard something like this before somewhere else, but you always say that you come up with original game shows, so I'm not going to doubt
Definitely mostly original. This one hasn't been stolen from the BBC, if that's original.
Well, that
you.
makes
So you
a
admit
change.
it. He admits it. I'm calling Paul Merton right now.
Right. So the first car.
Yeah.
These are all ones that were announced at Geneva, by the way, so they're all newish.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one. The bonnet's central spine clearly shows the car's DNA. I'm moving on. Intensive use of fluid dynamics.
Ooh.
Number 3. You can shout out if you want, but that's not going
No,
to
keep going.
Number 3.
Keep going.
Significant downforce.
Ferrari 812 Superfast.
Nope.
Ooh.
Any other guesses for that?
I got nothing. No.
A rewarding driver and passenger experience.
Ooh, the Toyota Gazoo.
No.
Kazoo.
Any more?
Is there one more clue, Ben?
There's one more clue.
And this
One
is
more
for
clue.
2 points, is it?
You get 1 point for this one.
1 point for this one.
Designed in France, made in France.
Something by Renault.
Oh, the Alpine A110.
Ah!
Yeah, 1 point to Johnny.
Get in there.
Well done, John.
Great work.
Go on, me.
Tip of the cap to you.
Thank you. Can I have a hat now?
Right then, guys. Second car.
Okay.
Unparalleled driver involvement.
Okay.
No.
Number 2. Unparalleled levels of interior space and sophistication.
Ferrari 812 Superfast.
No. The new. What was the Land Rover?
Range Rover Velar.
I'm moving on. The beautiful form has nothing superfluous about it.
Oh, this This sounds like it's a poorly translated Japanese press release, or it's something from Italy.
Number 4. No more guesses? Come on, guys, you let me down.
Oh no, the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross thing.
I'm moving on. Engage and exhilarate the driver.
Did Tesla have a
Come on,
dildo charger?
Are we really going to have to go down to the... Are we going to have to go down to the last clue? Any more guesses?
Oh, we're not good at this.
No.
Fingers on buzzers for the final clue, guys, because I'm making this easy for you.
All right then, love.
Folding driver display.
McLaren 720S.
Another point to Johnny.
Get in there. King, suck it, yeah?
So, going into the final round, Johnny has 2. King,
Buy me a hat.
you have nothing.
Buy me a hat.
King, you can still win this,
I know.
as long as you pick it up in the first 2 or 3.
Buy me a hat.
I'd rather you didn't pick it up on the third one, though, or fourth one, because I don't have a tie break. So,
Oh,
right. Are you ready for the final car?
Ready to buy me a hat, King?
if you know it on the 4th one, just let me know, John.
Okay.
And then he doesn't have a tie break, so it'll put him in the shit.
Yeah.
It'll show that he's not a good game show
True.
host.
Let's stick together.
Yeah.
You
Carry
suck,
on, Ben.
Okay, number 1. Unmistakable design.
So vague.
The Maybach thing. There was a Mercedes Maybach
Characterised by its very dynamic proportions.
thing. Dynamic proportions.
Ferrari 812 Superfast.
No.
The Range Rover Velar.
No. I'm starting to wonder whether you saw any cars that were announced. Prominent and distinctive D-pillar.
Oh, hang on. A, B, C, D.
Ooh, give us a minute, Ben.
Give
us a minute, Ben.
No.
Peugeot 3008.
No.
No. The Volvo. The Volvo estate.
No. A luggage compartment management system is available.
Does that mean it comes with a man?
A luggage compartment management system is available. I don't know where they get this
A
stuff
luggage
from.
compartment management system.
Ferrari 812 Superfast.
That just means that there's like some of that old netting that you can put up if you like to hold a
Basically, yeah.
hold a pet.
It's
in
like
place.
the worst add-on ever. Do you want a hook for your curry?
Yeah.
And a bit of net. Alright then, down to the final one.
Fancy a curry.
Based on the successful sports sedan.
Some deathly silence right now in some of these traffic towers.
Is it the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross?
No.
Hang on.
It's a fancy car, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Do you want me
think.
to give you I'm always tempted to give you the manufacturer name and see if you actually have ever heard of the car.
Give us the first letter of the manufacturer name.
P.
Perodua something.
Pagani Huayra Roadster.
No. Do you think a Pagani would have a luggage compartment management system?
Maybe.
I can hear our listeners screaming out the answer to this.
Can you?
Shut up, listeners. You don't know anything. You don't know what it feels to be under this pressure. I've got a hat on the line here.
You've already won the hat.
Is it the Pissan?
No.
Oh.
It's something by Peugeot.
No.
P.
Christ. I said it's a nice car.
I know
Oh,
what it is.
Porsche.
Porsche Sport
no,
Turismo.
No.
Yeah, it is indeed. Can I have the full name though, Johnny?
Porsche Sport Turismo Grand Tourer Estate Superfast.
I'll give you 3/4 of a point for that.
Is that enough to secure victory?
It is indeed.
Buy me a hat.
It's a Panamera, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I knew that.
Yeah. Panamera Sports Turismo. The old shooting brake one.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it, a shooting brake?
So
There you go. So
just to
Johnny
confirm,
wins.
Is that 3-0 to me?
No.
2 3/4 actually.
2 3/4
Yeah,
nil.
2 3/4.
Okay, that's a good win.
Congratulations, you've won press release bullshit bingo.
And I can have a hat.
You guys are awful. You let me down. I thought you'd get it at least on the 3rd or 4th.
Well,
So,
I mean, I think
every
we
time.
made it clear at the start of this segment, Ben, that we were just kind of ignoring Geneva. So we probably weren't the best people to play this game.
I actually didn't even know there was a motor show on, and I still managed to win 2 3/4 nil.
So there we go.
That shows what a fantastic motoring writer that I am. And if anyone is listening to this who has money, they should definitely hire me. Because, to be honest, I'm really, really good at
Right,
this.
thank you very much for playing.
What a modest talent you are.
Lovely, I am. Really lovely.
Well, thanks, Ben.
No worries.
Terrible game show, though, Ben. You didn't even prepare a tie-break.
Stick to Model X files.
Where's your soundboard?
The soundboard was what broke your microphone, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Yeah, this is the thing. Nobody knows that you used a soundboard in the last episode, so that whole statement was irrelevant to the listeners.
Or do you want me to get it out now?
No.
Why?
No.
Well, the listeners might want to hear it.
No. Thanks very much, Ben. Maybe we'll play that again next year.
Can we play it next week?
Next time there's a motor show, we'll play again.
Next week.
Smooth traffic simply wouldn't be smooth traffic without a round of Deadliest Boot Spaces. Our contestants today are Rob and Ben, the usual, and today we're going to be asking the incredible question, which is the deadliest boot space out of the Mercedes-Benz E-Class and the new BMW 5 Series?
Ooh.
German boot spaces. Aren't they a mystery?
That's a tough one.
I don't know. I saw the new 5 Series the other day, and I thought it looks like a Mercedes. So, on that basis, I am going to say the E-Class. Because there's no logic to that either way. So
I was going to say, that's like mine. I like the colour. Yeah, well, I suppose.
I think we should have a new rule in Deadliest Boot Spaces, King, because I've noticed you're getting a bit dominant at this sport.
Oh, go on then.
And I think that's because you always guess first.
No,
I think it's the other way
this
around,
is the
actually.
thing, yeah. Ben always guesses first, and then I pick up the pieces and win.
So
That's why I thought I'd mix it up and get in there early.
Oh, fair enough.
But
I don't know what's going on.
Since you've said that we need to make a new rule, that suggests that I'm going to win this one.
Yeah.
So thanks, John.
Damn it.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't, King, because am I talking about estates or saloons?
Well, I mean, you'd normally specify if it was an estate, so it's obviously the saloon.
Normally I would, but new rules today, King. Maybe I'm not giving you all the information. Da-da-da.
Are you including the glove box or something?
Maybe.
That's not a boot space.
Or maybe I'm including other spaces. Da-da-da.
Right, BMW. Let's move on.
Right, so yeah, Ben's gone for the BMW, I've gone for the Mercedes.
Okie dokie. Well, let's have a little look. So, the new BMW 5 Series has 530 litres of boot space, which equals 88.33 recurring deaths. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class has 540 litres of boot space, meaning that it has 90 deaths. E-Class has the deadlier boot space. So congratulations,
Yeah.
Robert King. You're
Once again, I'm
continuing this
victorious.
streak of just filthily cheating. And but anyway, we'll join you for the next episode of Deadliest Boot Spaces. If there's any point in continuing, stop winning, King.
Sorry.
You're ruining it.
Sorry, everyone.
You're ruining it, King. And now for the scores. Kingy 7. Ben
3!
Well, that wraps up another fantastic episode of Smooth Traffic. 2 in a week or so.
Give or take.
What have we been taking?
Not heroin.
Not heroin, because you should always drive safe and don't take heroin. Anyway, we'll be back soon with episode 30. That's going to be a big one.
Is it?
Because it'll be the 30th episode.
We need to plan something.
Yeah, we need to have like a 30th birthday party, actually. Because you know when you turn 30, everyone's meant to get really spoiled, right?
Yeah, because I was 30 last year and you guys actually bought me a gift.
Yeah,
So that was a pretty big deal. So yeah.
yeah. We ought to do something.
How are you getting on with that big bag of salt?
He
Yeah,
sold
I still
it.
got it.
He sold it.
Who would I sell a big bag
He
of
sold
salt
it to a gritting company who couldn't use rock salt, so they just bought King's bag of salt. And also to a slug disposal company as well.
I made millions.
He's made so much money, it's ridiculous. He's got an Aston outside.
So yeah, we should celebrate next
Yeah.
episode.
We will.
Episode 30. Join us for a celebration of Smooth Traffic.
30 years of Smooth Traffic.
30 episodes of Smooth Traffic.
Yeah, 30 episodes of Smooth Traffic. Please do rate and review. Is that right?
Yep.
Us on the Tune of I. And is that it? Oh,
Obviously, if you want to tweet us, you can tweet us at Smooth Traffic.
Yeah, tweet us at Smooth Traffic, at The Face of Ben, at Robert King ESQ, and at The Jonny Edge. And until next time, yeah, drive safe, don't take heroin, and make sure you take a shower at least once a day. It's good hygiene.